Hello, dear students. Today we are going to discuss some more changes, that is, chemical changes, in part 4. Before moving further, let us revise what we have done yesterday. Yesterday, we have discussed a very important chemical change taking place due to the reaction between vinegar and baking soda. So, what we did, we were asked to take some vinegar in a test tube and then we add some baking soda to the vinegar. What happens? We saw that gas bubbles are formed, and these gas bubbles are due to carbon dioxide. This gas comes out with a hissing sound, and we have learned the reaction taking place, that is vinegar called acetic acid. It reacts with the baking soda, that is sodium hydrogen carbonate, and then the product formed is carbon dioxide and other substances. Now this carbon dioxide gas, when it is passed through lime water, the lime water turns milky due to the formation of calcium carbonate. The reaction taking place can be written as carbon dioxide, that is CO2, plus lime water, that is CaOH2, calcium hydroxide. And what we get? We get calcium carbonate, CaCO3, and water, that is H2O. These two reactions are very important from the examination point of view. So, the two reactions once again taking place when vinegar is reacting with baking soda, what we get? Carbon dioxide and other substances. Whereas when this carbon dioxide gas formed in the above reaction is passed through the lime water, what happens to the lime water? Lime water turns milky. It is due to the formation of what? Calcium carbonate and water. So, the setup used for the reaction, for these two reactions, is as shown. There is a test tube. In the test tube, you are taking vinegar and baking soda, and due to the reaction taking place between vinegar and baking soda, carbon dioxide gas is formed and other substances are also formed along with this. It is a chemical change, and the gas produced is then passed through the pipe to the another test tube where there is a lime water, and this lime water turns milky. This is the standard test to check the presence of carbon dioxide. Remember, the gas we breathe out is also carbon dioxide. So if it is passed through lime water, it will also turn milky. Now come to some other examples of chemical changes which we observe nearby us. Burning of coal, wood or leaves. As already told, burning of coal results in the formation of a new substance. In fact, all the burning processes are chemical change. So burning always, it is accompanied by production of heat. Then explosion of firecracker. Explosion of firecracker is again a chemical change. This explosion produces heat, light, sound, and unpleasant gases that pollute the atmosphere. Next is when the food gets spoiled. What we get? A very bad smell comes out from the spoiled food, a foul smell. So, it is again a chemical change. If you keep a slice of apple, potato or brinjal, cut and then keep it away for some time, what happens to its color? There is a change in color. Why is this change in color? It is because of the formation of a new substance. So, it is also a chemical change. Then, neutralization. As you have studied in chapter 5, you can neutralize an acid with a base. So, neutralization is a chemical change. Then ozone layer. What is this ozone layer? It is a layer which protects the harmful ultraviolet radiations coming from the sun. Ultraviolet, that is UV. These radiations, they may cause skin cancer if we get exposed to these radiations. Ozone layer is very important for us. Now what it does, this ozone layer absorbs harmful ultraviolet radiations coming from the sun. While absorbing, what happens to it? Ozone breaks down to oxygen. Ozone breaks down to oxygen. Oxygen is different from ozone. So it is a chemical change. Then seventh example, you can take photosynthesis process. What is photosynthesis? It is the process by which green plants prepare their own food. It is also a chemical change. And eighth example can be taken as the digestion of food which takes place in our body, in every human being. So it is also a chemical change. Then come to the next example, a very important example of chemical change, that is rusting of iron. What is rusting of iron? Iron gets rusted because of the formation of iron oxide. We have already studied about it in brief at the starting of this lesson. This is one change that affects iron particles and slowly destroys them. Since iron is used in making bridges, ships, cars, truck, and many other articles, the monetary loss due to rusting is very large. It is very huge. Rusting of iron causes damage to articles. The reaction which takes place between iron and oxygen and water, or you can say water vapor also. Water vapor is essential for the rusting process to take place. Oxygen it takes from the air. So the reaction taking place can be written as iron, that is Fe, then plus oxygen, that is O2, plus water, or you can say water vapor, that is H2O. These are the reactants. So these reactants, they react, and what is formed? That is rust, called iron oxide, Fe2O3. You have to remember the formula for iron oxide. You have to remember the reaction taking place. This can be asked in the exam also. Write down the equation for rusting. Then what should be your answer? Your answer should be iron plus oxygen plus water. It becomes iron oxide, Fe2O3. So how the rusting process can be prevented? Because it results in the damage of the articles made up of iron. Remember, for rusting, the presence of both oxygen and water is essential. Now, to prevent this process to take place, we can apply oil or grease over the substance made up of iron. We can apply paint. And the third method to prevent rusting is to coat that iron article with a layer of metals like zinc or chromium. In fact, you can say that if the content of moisture in the iron is very high, then the rusting process becomes very faster. We have to prevent this contact of moisture to come in contact with the iron article, and this is done by putting a layer over it, and that layer can be of oil, that layer can be of grease, it can be painted, or it can be coated with a layer of metals like zinc or chromium. So the simple way which we do in our home to prevent the iron is by painting or by greasing. This we usually do. These coats should be applied regularly to prevent rusting. So The process of coating a layer of zinc or chromium on iron is called galvanization. This is very important. You can be asked question in the exam, what is galvanization? So you should be able to answer what is galvanization. It is the process of coating a layer of zinc or chromium on iron, that is galvanization. Many articles such as iron pipes used in our homes are galvanized. It is very important. You have to galvanize the iron pipes, or you can say you have to galvanize the pipes carrying water. Otherwise, the pipes will get damaged. You know that ships are made of iron, and a part of the ship always remains under water. Definitely, it will get rusted then. So, on the part above water also, water drops keep clinging so that to the ship's outer surface. So, how to prevent the ships from rusting? It is by the process galvanization. So, the water of the ship contains many salts also. Now, there is very one important point which I am going to tell you, that the salt water makes the process of rust formation faster. You can be asked this as the question, that salty water makes the process of rust formation faster or slower? Then what should be your answer? Faster. In salty water, rusting takes place faster. So, as the water is salty in sea, so utmost care is to be taken to prevent the parts of the ship from rusting. Various parts of the ship are to be replaced every year because they get rusted. Ships suffer a lot of damage from rusting in spite of being painted. So much so that a fraction of ship's iron has to be replaced every year. There is a huge monetary loss to the world because of this rusting taking place over the ships. So, I think this much is clear for today. What is rusting? Rusting is the process due to which the iron gets converted into iron oxide in the presence of air and water. So, this is your today's assignment. You are provided these 4 questions. You have to solve it in your copy and submit me. Thank you very much.